Welcome back to Desperation Point Session 24. I'm your Game Master, Daniel Fox. You know these people. We're recording videos now. Coincidentally, we now have, I think, session 19, 20, 22, 23, and now this one will be up on YouTube. I've already scheduled them out, by the way, Adam. But we're back. We actually skipped last week. Illness among the folk. And here we are. We're back. And we're all on the path to vaccination, which is great. I think everybody at this point has either been fully vaccinated or got their first shot. So we're going to probably resume in person for the next 30 days or so, right?
Something like that. Yeah, I get my second one on the 22nd. So
yeah, you got to wait 14 days after that too. Mm-hmm. So yeah, probably what's now April, so probably mid-May.
Something like that. Yeah.
Yeah. Tim Coron's coming back, I think, in next week, I think.
Nice.
She's like stuck down in there.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Wow. Let's check that out. That's a great question. I don't know. I mean, at some point, if we're resuming in person, we'll probably conclude this and do something new. I don't know. We'll talk about that later. But for now, let's just jump right back in where we kind of left off last time. So before we do so, let's get our coins, our fortune misfortune settled. So I'll take one immediately. It's mine. And coincidentally, for those who are watching, you can see that we are using the Flames of Freedom coins.
Yay!
They're big. They're as large as poker chips, and they stack, and they're coppery. They're made from campaign coins. So everybody roll D6. Oh, I got a 5.
Yep. One short.
Yeah! 2. Nick gave me another coin. So we got 4 for players and 2 for me. Good thing. So next, let's do initiative if we could. And you'll need to give me some mystery initiative, Nick, just in case something goes amiss.
3.
You're 3. What'd you get, Calvin?
17.
Nice.
What about other folk?
19.
Nice.
Collingsworth got 12.
7. I got a 9. The mystery foe has a 9. Mystery. So what do we got for our order? What do we have for our order? Here's your guy to indicate who goes when. So we're tallying initiative count real quick right now.
Keegan, Calvin, Osbert, Collinsworth, and question mark.
It's good.
Collingsworth.
Collingsworth. That's right. You know. I love Deadwood. So we get initiative determined. Let's go ahead and talk about what happened last game session. Obviously, it's been a couple weeks, but surely some of it's still fresh in our minds.
Yeah, I remember that we started off pretty much just kind of getting our bearings in the settlement that Credence is supposedly staying in with the rest of who we would know as the Nameless. That's who we've been.
Yeah, that's right.
Calling them. I guess that's their Collingsworth. But anyways, we went on a trip to basically find Credence because Credence initially left with Otrig, but Otrig and Credence were supposed to like basically separate as Otrig is going further on and Credence would be coming back. But Credence hasn't come back.
Yeah.
So I do remember that there was something that happened during our trip, but I can't quite remember the during. I do remember what happened after.
Yeah, and so just real quickly too, you were joined by Dane the Scald and his wife Annika, who is the whisper of animals.
She has a big bird.
Yeah, an eagle that she calls Kite.
And she is Pictish.
She's a Picty in the woods, as they say. Yeah, so you accompanied them, and you were heading basically toward, by your best reckoning, where they would be, and kind of came up on like an open valley, and across the valley you saw like you saw like a small castle keep kind of nestled into the hills. And I think at this point, this is when Calvin whisked himself away on his broom.
It was raining.
It was raining. That's right.
Yeah, so it was raining, and we had a bright idea of let's scout this thing out on a broom. And luckily, nothing terrible happened. But yeah, I believe he saw a pretty well battered fort, a lot of holes in the roofs. Thought he saw two people down in one of the courtyards, so he figured, someone has to be occupying it, but he didn't want to do any maneuvers that might cause him to fall off, so he kind of just did a nice flyby and reported his recon.
Yeah, that's right. And from there, you kind of came back and reported, and then you all waited until the following morning, I think. And it was still raining.
We slept through the rain. It was awful.
That's right.
Yeah, it was all right.
It wasn't that bad.
You're kind of soaked through to your
Osbert
socks.
just likes to complain.
That's right.
I was the one that didn't fail the roll.
Yeah.
Keegan was like, it's fine.
It's very true. It's very true.
Mhm.
So you head down the hill, and you kind of just actually ignore the village altogether, and you begin moving through this kind of gray, withered heath. And of course, you saw like a very old, abandoned farming implement would be pulled by oxen, like not just like abandoned, but like old, like of an age before now, like rudimentary. Like in a sense, you may think about like dark age technology. Like that's what it would look like to all of you. So well over 150 years old. And what happened when you were crossing through the fields? What did you see out in the fields? What did you see in the village?
There were some people coalescing around us, starting to come upon us.
Villagers.
Villagers.
The village.
So we were making our way through the fields, and finally we come upon this crossroads or something like that. And there were some people there, and Osbert yelled at them to stand aside. They didn't. So
Brandish your pistol too.
I brandished my pistol and say, "Move out of the way!" Basically, they didn't. So then we took off running.
Yeah, that's a point where Osbert said, "Run," and that's when you began running up the hill toward the hill that would lead to the castle. And kind of as you look around yourselves, and you're kind of still like in this soggy field, you could see that these groups of people with kind of farming implements and broad hats with rain kind of washing off the side, almost like these curtains of rain off these broad hats, are kind of collected behind you and in front of you, armed with sputtering torches and farming tools. And kind of soundlessly, they're slowly pursuing as you all begin to run for your lives.
Since we're running through a field, are we going against the grain?
Well, the great thing about this is actually means we get to start a chase scene, which is always exciting. So I think we should probably just cue up the chasing music. This will be a medium chase. 6 rounds to escape the villagers here, wherever this is. Starting at the top of initiative. Keegan. Is that right? Who's the top of initiative?
Yes, Keegan.
Okay.
To confirm, was I told to run?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
yelled I yelled
yelled
everyone to run.
Okay.
So you'll need to take your movement and roll a 1d10 and let me know what that number is.
Do I get an assist die on this?
No, there's no skill
Damn.
test involved. It's a matter of getting the WTF out.
So I rolled a 4. My movement is 7.
All right. So just let me know the sum. Don't let me know that.
Okay,
different
11.
numbers. 11. Okay. All right. Keegan breaks forward at this point as he bolts forward. Who's next?
Calvin.
Calvin.
Yeah. Calvin's running. Let's book it. All right, and so it's what plus AB again? D10, right?
Just your movement plus 1d10. Yeah.
Yeah. Ooh, I rolled a 9. So with that, my movement is a 7, so 16.
Nice.
Nice.
Calvin, right as the storm picks up, Calvin is padding through the mud, scrambling, trying to get as far ahead as he possibly can, bringing us next to who? Osbert.
6 plus the movement is 13.
D10 plus movement.
Oh, D10.
Yeah.
Okay. That'll be 13.
Okay. Osbert kind of breaks ahead slightly, and Keegan, you can see you hear the rumble of thunder as an arc of lightning crashes across the sky behind the massive castle keep you're running toward the hill to ascend. That brings us next to
Collinsworth.
All right. Taking off at as breakneck a pace as my legs will carry me. Ooh. A 17.
Nice. Collinsworth is moving pretty quick. And in his wake comes Dane the Scald and Annika the Pict.
And Abigail.
And Abigail, that's right. All kind of running in tow behind Collinsworth, slipping and sliding across the field, bringing us next to
Question mark.
the villagers. Let's see what their pursuit is.
Can we see how far behind they are?
Well,
Or will we have to look back?
right as this is kind of happening, you turn back, Keegan, and you see that the villagers are right on your tail. And in fact, you had the lowest initiative. You need to roll a coordination test. This test will be challenging.
The lowest, you mean the, okay. Coordination. Okay, I have a 37. You said challenging?
Yeah.
23 still not gonna do it, is it? No, it will. Just barely. 23.
Nice. Keegan, you can see that the villagers are right behind Keegan, and Keegan doesn't see them kind of coming from as they break from the left. And Keegan slides like across the muddy field, kind of covering the side of his shoulder and leg and hip in mud. And then Osbert turns around and pulls him up off the ground as you all continue apace. Keegan, it's your turn. It's the second round.
Hurry your ass up, Keegan.
You're not even to the foot of the road that winds its way to the castle.
I am a footman, not a runner. Okay. Well, it's gonna suck because 11 again.
Okay, just roll. I'm sorry, my apologies. Just roll a d10 and let me know the result.
Oh, just the D10. 4.
Yeah. How much? I'm sorry.
4.
Oh, okay. Calvin.
Right,
Your
just
turn.
D10 is a 2.
Oh gosh. Calvin is picking up pace, and Calvin is just a yard or so ahead of Collinsworth as you brush by him, and you see the crows take to the sky as you pass by that big spade that's kind of covered in overgrown grass, leaving us next to Osbert.
Mm-hmm. 3.
Ooh, 16. Well, Osbert picks up pace in front of Keegan, expecting Keegan to follow behind, but Keegan's still lagging behind a few yards. Calvin's just a few more yards ahead, and you're almost caught up to Collinsworth. Collinsworth, roll D10.
Okay. As good last time, I got a 12.
What'd you get? I'm sorry?
12.
On your D10.
Roll D10
Just
only.
D1.
Oh, D10 only. 3. Sorry.
Oh. Okay. Roll a 10. Oh, no. Well, the person who's the furthest behind, Keegan, once again, Keegan, you feel the reach of someone behind you as they attempt to take you down to the ground.
Okay.
Roll a 9%. You can attempt to resist with a coordination test. This test is standard.
I will attempt. And a 61's not going to do it.
Okay. Keegan stumbles to the ground, grabbed by the villagers.
You want to re-roll?
I have a 37. There's not a good chance I'm going to be able to.
I don't think you can re-roll.
You can. It's just
I don't think she can. Or sorry, he can.
Oh, that's right.
That's right. Yeah.
I was told to run, so I don't know. That's kind of.
Right.
Yeah.
I think
It is a self-interest, though. So nope, we're gonna go with I can't.
Okay. And
Gotta
suddenly,
save those points for you guys. Come on.
Keegan stumbles to the ground right as you begin to get on this very precarious, winding path that is on all sides is just with this steep, black, rocky escarpment that winds its way, twisting back and forth like a switchback purposefully until it ascends some number of maybe 50 to 100 yards up the side of this hill toward a gatehouse, the same one you had seen on Broomback, Calvin. And I think at this point is when we need to move to, unfortunately, the battle map. I planned it out just in case, and
You're welcome.
yeah, you're welcome. Thank you. You're welcome. I am now going to flip to the camera. Let's see if this works. It does. Okay, Nick, help me pick up the
blanket of obscurement.
The blanket of obscurement. That's right.
Yeah, Afghan mystery.
We're going everywhere. Well, as you can see, this is this long, winding, twisting path that goes all the way up. Eventually, that terminates at the gatehouse, bending all the way back here. So, what we're going to do is start placing some figures. To begin with, and for our purposes tonight, Osbert will be with the blue bottom. We're going to use Kay for your character. We're going to put him right about here. And I'm going to look at current distances to kind of place everybody else in an appropriate way. So, unfortunately, the villagers, they're at 21 yards and Collinsworth is at 21, Calvin at 18, Osbert at 16, and Keegan at 14. So, Mike, for your character, how far you can? What's your movement?
My movement is 7.
7. So you'll be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then you were ahead by 4 more. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So you're right there.
Okay.
In the case of Osbert, you are right here. You're just a little bit behind where Calvin is.
Is my movement taken into account at all?
Yes, it's what I'm doing right now. And then for Collinsworth is way ahead. So count 18, 90. So Collinsworth, you're right there in red.
Mhm.
And then finally, that's all 1, 2, 3, 4. It's everybody, right? Yeah, it's everybody. And then we will put right at where we're gonna move you right here and here. You can see that, of course, as you can tell, I'm gonna spin the camera toward you here, so you all can see. Right along back here is where Keegan was kind of caught by the villagers. Oops, sorry. So some quick call outs. The only paths you can move on are in gray. Everything else is a precarious drop. God knows how far down the mountainside. But if you wind your way up, just like Candyland, you'll eventually make it to the gatehouse, which is essentially a source of safety. So can everyone see that? Can everyone, at least on the side of the camera, can you all see the battle map pretty clearly?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So from where you're at, you can see Keegan gets kind of captured,
Wow.
and it's still raining outside. So a few quick call outs. There is a pretty generous amount of obscurement on this mountainside leading up to, because of the storm and because of the rain. So if you would, Nick, since you're tracking initiative, I would like for you to also note that that currently there is fleeting shadows. So for fleeting shadows, you must flip the results to fail vision-related skill tests, cannot give or gain the benefits of assist dice. I'm sorry, my apologies. It's not fleeting shadows. It's perfect light. It's daytime. I'm so sorry. It's daytime. So no penalties for that. But there is medium obscurement. So no extreme or long distances on weapons currently. And I think we're just going to start directly, Keegan, with your initiative. I think it's the best place probably to start, since you were kind of the first kind of stopped, so to speak, by these villagers on this winding path leading up the side of the mountain.
So point of clarification.
Yes.
This figure that has two people stuck together, is that two people or is that more than two people?
Well, that's more than two people. That's a collection of villagers who are kind of leaping upon Keegan where he stands.
Okay.
What would you like to do?
Am I currently considered prone then?
No, you were on your feet. They just grabbed a hold of you and stopped you, and you turn around, and there's no way you're going to be able to get away.
Okay, so I don't actually have like a condition or anything.
No, nothing like that. No.
Okay, then I am going to. I think I'm going to assist with it or attempt a words with weapons to try to hasten.
That's smart. Okay. What are you saying? What is everybody seeing? Or hearing, I should say.
Well, I mean, I always try to depend that on whether I make it or not. But basically, what he's going to try to say is something along the lines of, "We're moving single file, and they can't seem to separate themselves.
Yeah.
We should be able to make this."
Good point. Very good point.
So hastened, I forget which one hastened is, which skill that's based off of.
Yeah. So for hasten words as weapons, should be under your special actions for words as weapons, which is
So let's make it relevant.
warfare.
Warfare.
It's warfare. Okay.
Yeah.
Warfare.
I don't have warfare, but we're gonna try it anyway.
Okay. What's your
Why
current
not?
damage condition?
Unharmed.
Okay. Yeah. Go ahead and make a routine test.
Routine. Okay. So 54. That's a 1.
Nice. Crit success.
So
So crit success is everyone adds +1 to movement and initiative till the end of combat. And you can bank 1 AP for free. So you bank that AP. You have 3 AP left.
okay. Are they right next to me? I can't quite tell. Are they like a
yeah,
square away,
actually,
or-
you are engaged with them. So if you look at your figure in purple, and you can see the collection of villagers way over there. Yeah, you are engaged with them where you're at.
Okay, then I am going to attempt to knock down one of them that's close to me.
Okay.
Using coordination.
There's a great collection of these villagers kind of who are kind of drawn together.
So try to knock one to another and kind of
that's
jumble
perfect.
them.
It's going to be a standard test.
92 won't do it.
You got 4 coins. You're going to give me one.
That's a self-interest. Wouldn't it be?
I don't know. What do you think?
I mean, I guess I'm trying to save everybody.
Yeah. Seems to make
I'll try
sense.
one. Why not? Let's go for it.
Okay. All right. So that's 3 coins in your pool, 3 in mine.
And that's a 14, so that will succeed.
Nice.
Cool.
They will attempt to resist with a coordination test, which is 60%.
Probably do so.
Yeah, 60% chance for them. I rolled a 72. Suddenly, the collection of villagers kind of stumble into one another, falling to the ground. A few of them trying to help each other pick one another up, but they just can't manage to get up fast enough. As the villagers are essentially treated as if they're all prone, as of right now. So that's 1 action point because you got to bank that one previously. Anything else you wish to do, Keegan?
Charge for the last 2 AP I have.
Okay. How many yards can you charge?
With hastened 8.
Okay.
With charge 16 because it's ×2.
Right as you ready to kind of pick up speed, you realize that with how narrow this pathway is, it'll be impossible to charge without risking falling off the ledge. So you'll need to simply hustle and then hustle again.
Oh, that's fine.
Yeah. So how many yards can you move? I'm sorry.
Each one would be 8, so 16 altogether.
Okay, so we'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Keegan rushes forward as quickly as he can muster, trying to get up the hill toward the gatehouse, towards safety. As you turn back, Keegan, you can see that there are more villagers in their wake, heading up the side of the mountain. So whose turn is it? Anything else you want to do?
That's all my AP.
Okay. So just to help me out, everyone, just let me know when you're finished. Because I'm not really counting AP. Just help me out a little bit.
Okay.
So who's next?
Calvin.
Calvin. Okay. What do you want to do? Of course,
All
Calvin.
right.
If you remember, you are in green. You're the green little character
All right.
over here on the path. And once again, it is precarious, so you can't charge or run.
Oh, I don't plan on doing anything as mundane as walking. I'm pulling out my Hawthorne stave, and I'm casting Flying Broom.
Nice. Is that an intermediate tier spell? Is that right?
It is an intermediate tier
Yeah.
spell.
Well,
So it's 2 AP.
cool.
All right. Difficulty.
Probably challenging in the middle of the storm. I would
Okay.
say.
Challenging. All
You want to
right.
risk any backlash?
No, because I want to be able to move with that one last AP. So, all right. So it's going to be a 59. And I rolled a 34. Success.
Nice. Okay. So you are now hovering in the air. What do you do with that last action point?
I believe I will hustle, which for flying is 12 plus your AB.
Nice.
So if you just want to put me near the gate, I'll just wait for the rest of everyone else to show up.
So
Because my AB bonus is it's only 4, so 16.
8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So 16 total?
Sure, yeah.
Yep. All right. And with
Peace
that,
out, suckers.
yeah, you fly forward. I think we're going to use the. Yeah, we'll. I wish we had something that could show that you're airborne. I'm sure I have something around here that
Yeah.
would indicate that. But for now, we're
It's
just
all right.
going to we're going to replace your character with the. We'll just leave it like as it is. I'll put a little dice. underneath you.
I'll remember that I'm flying.
Yeah,
So,
yeah, probably smart. probably a good idea. In fact, I even have something I think we put underneath you that's actually pretty large. That'll make you stand out. As we will use this red dice.
nice. All right.
Yeah, showing that you're airborne. So yeah, whoosh. With that, Calvin like picks up on the broom and takes off across the hillside and ascends up toward the gatehouse, almost towards safety. Who's next?
Osbert.
Osbert, what will you do? Osbert, remember, you are in red.
No, I am.
I'm sorry, in blue. My apologies. Yeah, you're right over here.
I guess I will just hustle.
Okay. How far can you move? Or actually, just going to move your character if you would.
11 each. So
Okay.
that's 33 movement.
Nice.
Booking it.
4, 5, 6,
Candyland style.
7, 20, 21, 22, 23, 9, 30, 31.
All right. And Osbert breaks forward, rushing up toward the castle to get to safety. That brings us next to who?
Collinsworth.
Collinsworth, of course, you are the figure with the red base.
Mhm.
Everyone at this point's kind of left you in their dust, and then Keegan rushes past you kind of hurriedly, knowing that the villagers are just on your trail still. What will you do?
Collinsworth is going to hustle twice further up the path.
Okay.
Oh wait, no! Before we do anything, I'm going to
Yes.
take out my knife,
That's probably smart. Okay.
and then I'm going to hustle twice for 2 AP. And my movement is 9, so I'll move 18.
Nice.
2, 3.
So it's moving optimally. Yeah. Yeah, so you rush, drawing your knife, you rush as quickly as you can up the hillside. As it gets even more precarious and more narrow, as you look down off the side of the hill,
Oh.
you can see it just drops into nothingness.
My apologies. Can we move through each other?
Absolutely.
Okay. Yeah. Then I'm going to stick with this plan, and I'm going to bank an AP, and I'm going to yell out for Keegan. Come on, hurry up!
All right.
I'm basically trying to play defensive while I'm waiting for Keegan to catch up.
Smart. Who's anything else you wish to do?
No, that'll be it. My
Who's
turn is over.
next?
Villagers.
Oh boy. Well, the villagers start rushing up the hill.
They can't make it up. Their base is too
I
large.
think we'll see. We'll see.
You say that. So, one. I need to stand up first. 1, 2. I'll spend these 2 coins right here to get up off the ground, prone, placing 2 coins into the
Can I use a coin to edit the situation?
not when it's not your turn.
Not a turn. Okay.
Yep.
Gotcha.
So they begin to run as quickly as they possibly can. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
So they took two to move. Oh, they used the coin. Never mind.
Okay. Suddenly, all of these villagers are rushing up the hillside. And Keegan, like they just pass by you very quickly. You want to take an opportunity attack or counterattack toward one? With the bare fist?
Sure, let's punch something.
Okay. They seem to be armed with farming implements and other tools, torches, these broad straw hats as they're just
Actually, you know what? No, I'm not gonna. I have an idea.
Oh, okay. Probably smart. Well, one of the collection of people who are running up the hillside manages to lap you just barely, and as they come crashing into you, they will make an attack because they're swarming. 55% chance. I rolled an 18. Any action points?
Can I use a coin to defend?
Absolutely, you can. You'll need to defend against melee. So it's a standard test on that.
And I forget, how does defend work? I know it changed.
So it's just you're
It's
making
still coordination, right?
whatever. It's a simple melee for you.
Oh, simple melee. Okay.
Because you have nothing in hand but bare hands, and they're attacking with tools. I'm sorry, it's challenging because they're armed with weapons.
Okay,
I'm so sorry about that.
that's fine. So I've got a 50 in simple melee, so 40. Challenging. Nope.
Okay. As they
59.
swarm around Keegan, you see that he just gets battered and beaten with torches and farming implements as you suffer 5 damage. It's nothing too
okay.
serious by any means.
Yeah, nothing. Keegan's fine.
Okay. And then as the others are kind of like gathering where they're at, they begin tossing stones and rocks as I spend my other 2 coins. One of the group tosses stones and rocks toward Collinsworth, as does the other group because of the way they're just located. So this will be a 45% chance.
It's all over. It's the deadliest weapon.
That's right. 7%. So the first one hits. Do you want to attempt to dodge?
Yeah, I may as well.
Okay. So it's going to be for you because you're on higher ground. You get a slight advantage.
Mhm.
So your chance is actually standard.
Okay, standard. And I'm going to use coordination, so that'll be 52. 95 won't do it.
Oh no! So you're hit with you're blasted with a stone as you suffer 8 damage, and more stones and rocks come crashing toward you too for that second attack. And I got a 48, which misses. So the villager's turn is over, and as you all kind of turn around and look back, Keegan is stuck. Keegan can't, unless Keegan does some fancy footwork, he'll have a very difficult time getting through that collection of 15 or so villagers that stand between you and them. And they look, and they're kind of slowly coming up. They're storming up the hill toward you. So whose turn is it next?
Keegan.
Keegan, what will you do? All the
I'm
coins
gonna-
are in your pool, by the way.
Okay. I would like to attempt to meld into the crowd.
What do you mean by that?
Kind of move away from those that attacked me, go towards the ones that were throwing, maybe pick up a rock and try to act like I'm part of the mob.
I love it. Okay, well, this is going to be a little tough because, I mean, yeah, it's going to be a little difficult, but you should try it. Let's make it a challenging stealth test.
I mean, I can't get through, so. All right, challenging stealth, you said?
Yes.
Okay. 47 stealth, 31. We'll do it even with challenging.
Nice. Let's see if they resist. They'll attempt to see through this illusion using their awareness, and their chances are only 35%. And I'll roll just for all groups. I rolled a 48 again. Keegan suddenly blends into
Way to
the
go.
collection of villagers. And you lose sight of him.
I can't run.
So Keegan, that's one action point. You're blended in essentially with them as they seem to forget that you're really there. Do you want to move through them as if they were allies?
Will it win?
No, actually, I have an idea. Instead, what Keegan's going to do, because he realizes that he can't run for shit. So So instead, he's going to pick up a rock with them, and I'd like to ready an action. The next time they go to throw a rock, I'm going to accidentally hit one of them in the back of the head with the rock I'm supposedly throwing.
Nice. So, so real quickly, you can't interrupt the turn. But I think in this case, because I kind of like the creative use of what you're trying to do will allow you to do it. So for now, we'll kind of keep you where you're at. Once again, you're the purple figure, and you're kind of melded into all of these baddies. The villagers are ascending the hill. Anything else you wish to do, Keegan?
Let's see, what other thing can I do to wreak havoc? while I'm in the
Basically, you'll
side
get
of here?
surprise on your next attack, is what it means.
I am going to try to move up towards the front of the crowd since I'm melded in.
Okay.
So can
What's
I
your-
use a movement to do that?
Yeah, what's your hustle?
My hustle would be 8.
8. Nice. So you could go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, so you could essentially put yourself here ahead of the crowd if you wanted to.
Yeah, I don't want to be at the very, very front. Like maybe like one guy ahead of me, just so it like it doesn't look like
Sure.
I'm leading them, but kind of
Love it.
like melded in.
Okay.
So, and then, like I said, next time they go to throw, Keegan's going to throw at the same time as them, but just pelt somebody else in the back of the head.
Love it. Yeah, that's good. That's really good.
Squeezing through. It's your side hustle.
That's oh boy. Yeah. Monetize your hobbies. Okay. Anything else you wish to do, Keegan?
No, well, because I assume the readying the action to throw would take my last AP, so I think I'm good.
Yeah, okay, cool. So who's next after Keegan?
Calvin.
Calvin.
All right. So Calvin has an idea. It's probably a bad idea, but we're going to go with it. All right. So Calvin would like to maybe perhaps edit the situation with a coin to find that he has a bottle bomb on him.
Oh, is it possible he has a bubble bomb? Certainly, yeah.
Okay. All right. Yeah. So then he's going to pull out this bottle bomb and light it. And as a let's see, how many AP would that all be?
Well, nothing yet.
Okay. So then
you're technically drawing. You've edited the situation, assuming you had a bottle bomb. So at the beginning of your turn, you draw your bottle bomb.
Okay. So I basically want to do a flyover and carpet bomb the middle of them. While I'm doing so, I'm going to try to intimidate them to flee. As I say, flee from the sorcerer of Stonehold. Flee from the sorcerer of Stonehold, lest ye be turned to ash. As I throw the burning bottle bomb and hopefully hit somewhere around them to try to frighten them off.
I love it. What is your flight movement for hustle?
It's going to be 16.
So
Is my movement with flying.
if we follow what happened before, that puts you here. Now keep in mind that still means you are 1, 2, 3. You are 4 yards away from them.
Mhm.
How far can you throw a bottle bomb?
Is it still brawn bonus plus?
One
Yeah.
plus. It's 1 plus brawn bonus.
So my brawn bonus is 6, so that'd be 7 yards.
So right as you ready that bottle bomb, you realize that Keegan is somewhere in the mix of the villagers. Do you still want to throw it?
Yeah, I'm because if I can scare them off, then it maybe gives her a chance to slip out. You know.
Yeah, fair enough. So you, for your next action point, you will lob the bottle bomb, and it's going to be for you a routine test. You got height. You're in the air. You toss the bottle bomb.
All right, so that'll be a 67 chance with a 72 failure.
Oh my goodness. Want to reroll?
You got plenty
Yeah,
of
I
coins.
do. Yeah, I
Okay.
already used 1 coin. In for a penny, in for a pound, right?
It is the
All
way it looks
right,
like that,
all
so
right.
that's-
Come on,
that's
we
good.
got this. We got
Okay.
this. 67, and that's an 09 success.
Nice. What are the qualities of a bottle bomb?
I believe. Let me pull up. I had Zweihander open earlier.
I don't recall off the top of my
It's
head. Is
it will
Emily?
hit one group and then it will hit a person and then another person next
That's
to it.
right. Okay, cool. Yeah. So they are naturally going to try to get the fuck out of the way. which is probably smart. So it's a coordination test on their part, and it's a 50% chance. So the first group is going to try to get the hell out the way. Sorry, I need to spend this guy right here, a coin, which goes back to you all. 50% chance. And I rolled I didn't roll a correct dice. I rolled 2 green dice. So let me try that again. So sorry about that. My result is 0-5. Yeah.
Cheater.
So unfortunately, the bottle bomb crashes among them and begins to burn, but is quickly snuffed out by the rain. We'll assume, for narrative purposes, is what happens. And you try to use your words as weapons to intimidate. So go ahead and roll intimidate. And I think we'll make this routine for you, given the situation.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So that'll be a 70, and I rolled a 49 success.
Nice. Well, as you stare down and you scream out loud, you see the collection of the villagers kind of turn toward you with these dead blue eyes beneath the broad hats that are kind of with the water trickling off of it. And you could see their water-sawed, desiccated husks that seem to be intermingled with bits of feather from crows. As you can see, a crow literally kind of nestled inside one of the eye sockets of one of these villagers. These things are not from this world. And upon this realization, you were struck by perhaps fear. But instead of having you roll resolve, Calvin, I think we're actually going to have you roll your test to stay on your broom.
Okay.
I can't recall what that is. I think they have to make a test when something kind of bad happens. But I think instead of having you do a resolve against fear, I think we'll have you just kind of see if you can hold on to your broom.
Yeah. So I would need to succeed a awareness test.
Yeah.
Or suffer mental peril.
Yeah.
So you said what difficulty?
That's going to be challenging for you.
Challenging. All right. I've got a 36 here, and a 53 is a failure.
Oh no!
So I would suffer 2d10 plus 2 mental peril.
Are you rolling? I'm sorry. That was if you remember the spell on the broom. I don't know what the impact is. Is it they fall off?
Yeah. No. So I'm looking at it. Okay. So any maneuver that you would attempt to do that may be perilous requires a fail forward test using awareness, or else suffer 2d10 plus 2 mental peril. Okay. On a critical failure, you fall to the ground.
That's right. Okay. So go ahead and roll your peril and then account for it.
All right. So 2d10. All right.
Yeah.
Plus
so
2,
anything else you wish to do?
I think I've done enough. I did look up the qualities of the bottle bomb. It's fiery, so when a weapon or when a foe is struck, another combatant is and then they would have to resist with coordination or be set on fire.
Yeah. So unfortunately not as successful as you want to be, but I think you still have 1 action point left, if I'm not mistaken.
All right, then I shall fly away.
Back to where you started?
Yes.
We'll
just we come in, we loot. We're
you quickly return back to the gatehouse, and right as you're flying toward the gatehouse, you could swear you see shapes moving where the where the portcullis normally would be. There is something moving amid the darkness on the other side. The likes of which you had seen when you first came to this, when you first kind of cruised over it the night before, if you remember. There's this, you can see this kind of guttering looking lantern. The light is it's really struggling to stay lit inside this kind of glowing lantern. And this figure that's too thin and too tall, walking with this broad staff, like perhaps some sort of strange pilgrim of the north. And the first word that comes to your mind when you look at this thing is Crowmaster. So on the sheet, I want you to put a new initiative rating. And for the Crowmaster, Oh gosh, they have an 18.
That's tied with Calvin currently.
Okay, so my perception bonus is 6. Calvin.
Mine's only 5.
Okay, so the Crow Master will go before Calvin.
Okay. He goes before. Okay.
So anything else you wish to do, Calvin?
That's all my AP. I'm done.
Okay, so who's after Calvin?
Osborne.
Osbert. You, of course, are, maybe halfway up the mountain path, heading toward the castle keep, and you can see this kind of like the pale shaft of yellow light emanating from beneath the gatehouse, where this best described as a tall, lean man whose shoulders, upon their shoulders, he has like crows nested up, kind of clinging to his arms and the top of his staff and around his hat. As he is gathered there, what will you do?
Okay. I will continue up the pathway.
Okay. Using hustle. Okay.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 26. Is this just one up?
Yep.
27, 28, 9.
Okay. You run for your very life up the hill. Keegan is still collected among the villagers, and you could see that in your wake, within the storm and in the fog. Of course, you can see Collinsworth. Anything else you wish to do?
No.
Okay. Collinsworth, what will you do?
Okay, so I'm trying to just kind of make sure what I'm doing is what my character would do. So I know or I do not know that Keegan is blending in with the crowd.
Yeah, you lost sight of Keegan, and you don't see Keegan lying on the ground, fortunately. So you feel pretty confident that Keegan has somehow blended him into the villagers.
Okay. In that case, then yes, I will follow suit. Follow my fearless leader and run.
Okay.
Fearless.
So hustle.
Hustle. Yes, not game term run.
How far can you move?
Total of actually I miscounted earlier because of Keegan's assistance. I can move a total of 30.
Nice. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. Okay. You run up the hill, ascending further and further and further until suddenly you see someone standing beneath the portcullis, beneath the arch of stone, where you'd seen the iron portcullis, of course, risen above it, and you see a being that would only be best described as the Crow Master. And in your wake, the villagers are ascending the side of the hill as quickly as they possibly can. Anything else you wish to do?
No, my turn is over.
Okay. So who's next?
Collinsworth.
Wait, I thought I
No.
just-
Villagers.
Okay. Right as the villagers prepare to run, Keegan, that gives you a surprise attack. Go ahead and make a trivial
Pursuit.
simple melee test.
11.
A crit success. That's not only can they not defend, they couldn't defend in the first place, so it's plus 1d6 for surprise,
Hey.
plus 1d6 for critical success, and your normal 1d6 for the weapon. So, and add your brawn bonus.
Oh my.
Crack-a-lack.
You know what? If I'm going to go down, I guess I'm going to take one with me. Okay.
Of course, we're looking at this rough collection of villages over here where
So that's a 1 and a 6 on the
Nice.
first two. So then my third one is a 5. So that's 11, 12 with a 6 for a reroll. 16. I'm going to go ahead and turn that 1 into a 6 as well with a
take
coin.
that coin. Perfect.
So that's 12, 15, 17 plus a 4. So that's 21. That's another 6. 27. Gee, I wish I actually had a cam on this. This is crazy. All right. Okay, well, that's a 1. So 28 plus my brawn bonus, which is 4. Yeah, 32.
Nice.
Oh,
Keegan, describe what happens as you knock asunder this collection of 3 villagers. What are we seeing, like cinematically?
So Keegan has slipped up behind these guys, and he's looking terrified because at this point he's probably close enough to realize these aren't really villagers. But he has no other option, and he looks forward and he sees all of the guys up front, and then realizes he has what is obviously the greatest weapon of all time in his hands. So
Greater than nukes.
it is. So he has the rock, and he looks at the 3 of them as they go to take off and chucks this rock that just so happens to be able to slam into the 3 of them as they fall off the side of the cliff, I assume.
Yeah, cue up the Wilhelm scream.
Rocks,
So-
man.
That's what happens. As we literally see one group of the villagers these dark villagers scatter off the sides of the hill, and you manage to knock the group foremost in front of you out of the way, coincidentally where you're at. But the villagers, regardless, swell around you as they push past, as they are hustling up the side of the hill at their pretty steady movement. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16.
They obviously tripped.
24, 25, 26, 28, 29, 30, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36. As they continue pressing up the hill, these remaining 3 groups of villagers, counting 9, maybe more. There's just a rough collection of these strange Walking Dead, these villagers, these hunts that live among the remnants of this village. And fortunately, I have 2 coins left. So I think I'm going to spend those 2 coins as the first group will hustle forward, and then they will proceed to make a targeted attack toward Collinsworth, who's still a little bit in the wake, right back here with the red circle. So they swell forward, and they come in for my apologies, sorry, clearing my throat. And their targeted attack is going to attempt to they want to take you off your feet to knock you prone. So their chance to strike is 55. It's all on this roll because I have no coins to reroll. 31. Oh. Do you want to defend? Can you defend?
I can't unless I use a coin.
I have 6.
You have 6 coins.
On that note, I think we have 1 too many in the pool because it should be
Okay.
1 plus, right?
Yeah, it should only be
we
5. How do we have
5
6?
total. Yeah. Anyways, so
All right.
yeah,
Oh, we
one plus
overrolled.
players. Yeah.
Let's remove that.
Yeah.
Whoa. Good
So,
catch. Thank you for being honest.
Yeah. So I think I will, since we're full up, and
Fair enough.
we need to give the GM some fuel.
I shall take that coin. It has a skull on it for dead.
Yeah.
See, hopefully here in the
Um,
you can do it right here. Okay. So your defend on this is challenging because they're just swelling all around you.
Okay.
Challenging whatever weapon you have in your hand. That's what you'll use to defend yourself with.
Right. So it will be a 40%, and my cat is wanting to help me. And no, don't bite it. So that's a 46, which is a failure.
Oh, yeah. They do as they do. As you suffer. Oh, an explosion. Roll 6. That's
Uh-oh.
10. So 12 total damage.
Okay.
And as they do so, at the end of their attack, because there are just so many of these a target attack, they just kind of swell over Collinsworth as he's not prone.
Okay.
Technically, I should roll that d6 for being prone as well, but I'm not going to because I've already rolled damage. So as you all turn around, you could see that Collinsworth's been knocked off of his feet.
What?
And they're kind of like if they're kind of like surrounding him and just beating him as he's on the ground as he kind of curls up with his knife, trying to fend off the attacks, slashing wildly. So the villager's turn is finished.
Okay.
Who's next?
Keegan.
Yeah, Keegan, what will you do? You were, of course, way, way, way behind everybody else, but you managed to completely dismantle 3 of the villagers solely. All of you at this point have steeled yourselves because you can see that they've got these glowing blue eyes beneath their broad hats, and they're surrounded by crows. What will you do?
All I can do is hustle 3 times, and I'm still not even going to get there. So, because I have 24.
Okay. You want to hustle forward for 24 then?
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead, and if you would.
I think that's still not going to get me there.
Obviously use the best outcome as possible here.
Now, did you give your own bonus for the?
Mm-hmm. My movement's 7, so
Yeah.
it'd be 8, and then times 3, 24.
Yeah.
These villagers aren't too smart.
No, but they're a lot faster than me.
They're dumber than a
Yeah.
Cro-Magnon man.
This is the first time I've played a character with a decent agility bonus in a while. It's kind of interesting, like being able to move.
Yeah. So,
I like the way.
anything else you wish to do, Keegan?
That's 3 AP. I'm done.
Okay. Who's next?
Pro Master.
The Crow Master. All right. You can see the Crow Master standing beneath the huge arch of back here, of course, and within just a few short yards, of course, is Osbert, and kind of hovering above the ground at this point is Calvin on Broomback. And
Broomback
the
Mountain.
the Crow Master kind of mutters these words that can only be described as otherworldly and inhuman. And Calvin, you can make them out clearly as they're in ancient Ald, and it says, "I call upon you, O spirits, to keep mine enemies at bay." And then suddenly, you can see like the crows start to kind of like flock around him, like their feathers kind of falling in the air as he's attempting to cast Black Winds. His chance for this is 65%. And I think he's going to risk backlash for 1 step, so it's a 75% to cast. And I rolled a 62. I didn't need it, and I rolled a 5 on my backlash die. So suddenly these crows in a cone shape, like kind of, they fly out from beneath of his robes, beneath of his hat and his arms, as they kind of bash and beat against everyone in front of him in a cone. And I believe, if I'm not mistaken, a cone, I need to double check this. It's been a while since I've used any magic spells. This is actually kind of interesting and fun. A cone, gosh, where is a cone? Do you happen to know off the top of your head, Mike?
Can't remember the exact.
Let me take a look.
I just
here.
don't have a cone in front of me. I guess I could look.
It's like
in my trappings chapter. Oh yeah, cone. So 16 yards straight. So
yeah, 16 yards from where you stand, 1 yard
Yep.
wide at a starting
That's right.
point, 5 yards wide at the end point.
So this means that both Osbert and Calvin need to resist using coordination.
Is it any easier since I'm like somewhat undercover?
It is not.
Okay.
You didn't take cover, so unfortunately, it doesn't really lend you any additional help. This coordination test is hard for both of you.
Okay. 28.
Coordination.
21. I'll take it.
Nice.
This is a 40% chance to succeed. 47. I'm gonna re-roll.
Okay, I'll take a coin. Yeah.
So 100.
Oh no! Well, not only is Osbert pushed back 3 + 7, 10 yards.
Ugh.
So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's a fall. 6, 7, 8. We'll stop you right at the edge. Just to be fair, you're knocked prone though. You're shoved back as the crows literally beaten bash against you, and you're thrown backwards by this murder of crows that comes from his robes. And because you crit failed to resist, oof, that's never good, from what I recall. It's been a while since I've looked at this, but whenever you crit fail to resist, if anyone has you're defenseless until the beginning of your next turn. You did fall 1 yard coincidentally as you fell off the ledge, so you'll suffer 1d10 + 1 damage. So, oh god, I rolled a 10. I'm so sorry. You suffer 11 damage.
Okay.
And it should have knocked you off the edge to let you die amid the hills because you were technically pushed back 10 yards, but I'm not going to do that. We're just going to say that you're prone. It's kind of a cheap death from a basic tier spell. So somehow you cling to life, but you get thrown backwards completely. What's your current damage condition track?
Lightly wounded.
Okay. So real quickly, if everybody would, lightly wounded is now called hurt. So mark through lightly wounded, mark it hurt.
I'll try
in the same way that you have imperiled for peril, you have hurt for lightly wounded, because seriously wounded, moderately wounded, and grievously wounded implies injury. Lightly wounded never does. So just change that little section to hurt. Okay. That is his that's his spell. So he casted a spell, and I think at this point he's going to kind of incant some kind of pretty foul words. Like he's going to use words as weapons himself. And Calvin, you can understand it completely as he's incanting words in a language you understand, but the others, it just sounds frightening and terrible as he uses words as weapons to intimidate. His chance to do so is 45, and I roll a 26. So everyone now is suffering -1 to damage threshold and peril threshold. At least those who are, yeah, I would say all of you probably, because technically Keegan was able to impact everybody with his words of weapon, his weapon. So we'll assume everyone is suffering from intimidation, unless you have something that allows you to ignore intimidation. So the Crow Master is going to has no action points left because he risked backlash. So the Crow Master's turn is over, which brings us next to Calvin. Okay. Well, Calvin, you're clearly within just a few. You're within 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 yards, 7 yards of the Crow Master, and you see that the ravens, the murder of crows, takes flight. I'm sorry, I'm showing you the back of him. Let me spin it around where you can see him. Let me know when it's the best placement for you to stop.
Oh, you can. That's fine.
Okay, cool. All right.
So Calvin's going to whisper underneath his breath, like, "That's so Raven," and then
it's good.
You're all thinking that I just got to say it first. That's so Raven. All right. Well, if we got an enemy at the gates, he's going to first hustle away for 16.
Do you want to go kind of the same direction you went before, or do you want to like recede backwards completely? That's
fine. Like go back the way I came, because as I'm going to move, I'm going to pull, or I need to pull out a weapon. So I'm going to pull out my hunting bow.
Yeah.
I don't want the kickback from the gun. You know, that would not be good. So I figure, pull out the bow. Got 4 arrows, range of 14, short distance. So I think I'm good at one of those 2 that are all kind of by themselves there, right?
Yeah, absolutely. They're easily within range if you wish to do it. You want to load your weapon and fire for your last AP?
Yeah, I do.
Okay. So technically you would have had to draw your bow before moving, but we'll just give it to you. It's okay. No worries. So you kind of go backwards and you steady a bow, and I think that probably attacking on with a weapon like this.
So I need to make an awareness test.
Yeah, I think so. I think it
Yeah,
seems to be
yeah.
fair.
It's,
So
yeah.
go ahead and make a routine test. Or actually, make your attack first, which is standard. And then
Okay.
we'll have you make the test to see if you can stay on the broom.
All right, so 47. That's a 67, so that's a failure. I'll just take
arrow.
the miss.
You
So
want to
I didn't quite get it. It's a learning experience. First time shooting a bow on a broom. Got to expect failures. And then so the awareness test is a what?
We'll make it routine.
Routine. All right.
Yeah.
So that will be. Let's see here.
Self bows and broomsticks.
It's a new RPG
Yeah.
by Calvin.
All right. So 56, and I rolled a 14, so I succeed.
Nice. Okay. You managed to stay on the broom. You feel a little bit nervous in the back
Yeah.
of it, but you managed to kind of hold on.
Yeah, I'm creating a new fighting style. It's going to take a little work, a little practice.
Right. You're kind of guiding the horse guiding the broomstick with your knees, like
Right.
the horse in the air. I'm kind of assuming that you're maybe a yard off the ground. So if you wish to ascend up any higher, just let me know how high, because we'll
Okay.
need to account for that whenever you measure your distances and things like that.
Yeah.
Manipulation. Use some trigonometry.
Yeah, we have to use some trigonometry on this.
I mean,
Yes.
because I'd be staying.
Pythagoreans figure.
what's the hypotenuse?
Yeah.
A squared plus B squared equals C squared. Let's go.
yeah. So I think starting now, we'll just assume that you're just 1 yard above the ground.
Sure. Whatever you want to do.
That works. Okay. So who's next?
Osbert.
Osbert. Of course, you're on the ground.
Arm myself with my knuckle duster.
Okay, you got your knuckle in your hand. You pull it in hand.
I'm going to use get up for 0 AP because I have the handspring talent.
Nice. You come to your feet. Whoop.
I'm going to help Collinsworth to his feet.
Okay, so that's 2 action points. Okay. So Collinsworth, you get picked up off the ground by your friend and leader, Sir Osbert, the Thane of the North. The Thane of the North.
And I'm going to take cover. Am I too far to take cover? Like here?
You need to. You need because you need to move 2 yards to get in the cover.
Okay.
Good question though.
I will.
Got some coins. If you want
I'll use a coin and take cover next to him.
Okay, so you can't take cover next to him. You can take cover behind behind
Like behind the
yes, yeah, behind
That's
the
what I'm doing.
stone.
Like I'm taking cover next to.
Okay,
Collinsworth.
so that's not going to work
Okay.
because they're directly in front of you. You
No,
need to-
from him.
Oh, my apologies. Okay, all right, got it. That makes sense. Okay, yeah, you kind of hunker down,
Yeah.
trying to get to say, don't look at me, please, don't hurt. Please, Hammer, don't hurt them. So anything else you wish to do, Osbert?
That's 3 or 4 AP. So no.
Okay. Who's next?
Next is Collinsworth.
Okay, Collinsworth is gonna yell out for help from Hobbs as all of a sudden he goes "Roar, roar," and turns into a bear, right? Because
Right.
I'm a werebear.
Ah! So we'll make that 1 action point. We'll assume Osbert's near you, so we'll replace your figure with with Hobbs.
Okay,
Arr!
And- seeing that he's next to Osbert, but also next to this raving band of villagers who means to do Collinsworth harm, he's going to roar in their direction as he chooses them to be defenseless to all of his attack actions and rough and tumble.
Yeah.
As he says, please don't shoot me again.
Yeah, please don't shoot me, Osbert.
What would you like to do now, Hobbs?
Then Hobbs will I'm just like doing the mental checklist of all of the abilities. Okay, we're good. And then he's going to try and like claw out at them with his bear claws in order to see if he can take them down.
Bear,
Okay.
claws, please.
Go ahead and make your attack. There's a lot of them in one of you. How big is your bear? Is it just a normal sized bear?
It is a normal sized bear.
Okay. So it's going to be a standard test.
Okay. Standard test is going to be 65%. 96 won't do it. Think I'm going to try and use a coin to make this happen.
Oh yeah! Now I got lots of coins. 4 coins for me, 1 for you.
Mm-hmm. And a 34 will do it.
Nothing like a good,
Nice.
sweet, sticky bear
So they
claw.
need to resist. They can't
Mm-mm.
because they are powerless to it, defenseless to it. So
Right. So
Hobbs
this-
kind of lashes through them, slash, and brings them off their feet. We'll just assume that they're prone. I'm not going to
right.
move the figure sideways, but I'll throw a little ringlet on top of them.
Mhm.
We'll do a black ringlet. We'll just say this is prone.
Yeah. So you read my mind because the weapon is sweeping. So yeah, then roll for damage.
Yep. That's right.
All right. So 6 total. Plus 6 is 12.
Nice. Okay. The murderer crows is moderately wounded.
Ouch.
Or sorry, not the murderer crows. My fault. The villagers are moderately wounded.
Okay. Should I bother rolling for injury?
No.
Okay.
The living dead are immune to injuries.
I kind of figured, but thought I'd ask.
Good. That's a good question. It's a good question.
Yeah. All right, and then Hobbs is going to hold his last AP, bank it, and that'll be it for my turn.
Okay. Who's next?
Villagers.
Villagers. All right. Well, the villagers on the ground are going to stumble up to their feet, so they're no longer prone, and they're going to lash out at everybody in front of them because
Did we skip Keegan? I'm sorry.
Did you?
I don't think so.
Keegan, did
I'm
you
at the
skip?
top.
Okay. That's
Wait.
fine.
Yeah, I only ran, so it seems like I did nothing. Yeah, I really
Yeah.
kind of did nothing.
Yeah,
But
I think that's what happened. Yeah. So it is the villagers' turn,
Yeah.
and the villagers kind of stumble to their feet, and they begin swarming over Hobbs and Osbert, as they will use their swarming attack. It's a 55% chance to strike. You'll get benefits from cover on this, by the way. It says light cover, so it's +3 to your damage threshold.
Okay.
I rolled an 85, but I think I'm going to re-roll that because I have 4 coins. So the
Nice one.
villagers continue swarming forward, lashing and beating and swinging their pitchforks and their sputtering torches for a 32, which hits. Would either of you like to defend?
Yes.
Okay, it's 1 action point to do so, and it's a standard test.
Okay. Standard will be 65%, and a 40 will succeed.
I'll do it.
Nice. Hobbs manages to defend against the battering and bashing of the villagers.
What's the difficulty?
It is standard.
Okay, so standard coordination.
Yeah.
Okay. 60% chance to succeed. That's a critical success.
Nice. Not only do you manage to defend successfully, of course you crit succeeded, and whenever you crit succeed to defend, something special happens. And that special thing is, because I'm looking it up, because I don't have it on hand, but I encourage you all to print something else. You have something in front of you. You bank 1 AP for free and may make a counterattack.
All right, I'll do it.
All right. And with that, you lash out with your knuckle dusters?
Yes.
Okay. Crackalack.
Difficulty?
Standard.
That is not a success.
Unfortunately, as you swing your fist and kicks and spit and yell, they don't seem to find purchase as the villagers are still swarming around you as they kind of duck and dodge and move out of the way. You can't seem to really do anything to them. As you both resist, which is good. Or both manage to defend. Meanwhile, the other villagers move to engage Keegan, where Keegan is at, and will proceed to use a targeted attack toward Keegan. Keegan, as they kind of swell up around you, you realize that you've been kind of isolated from everybody else, poorly positioned. They kind of left you in their wake. The villagers will attempt a targeted attack to, I think what they're going to do is they're going to go for your head. They're going to attempt target attack to strike. So they kind of all aim roughly for your shoulders, your head, your neck, with their pitchforks and sticks and everything else. It's a 55% chance to strike. I got an 86, but I'm going to use a coin to re-roll that, which leaves 2 coins in the player's pool, 3 in mine. And I rolled an 82. I can't roll for anything tonight. So that attack, fortunately, misses completely, and they will bank that last action point. As for the other villagers, they will move for 1 yard for 1 action. They will kind of collect themselves and begin throwing a hail of rocks at Calvin, taking aim.
Mm-hmm.
Calvin, they have a 65% chance to hit you, and I rolled a 36. You're hit. Do you want to defend?
I don't think I have any AP to defend, so
We have 2 coins if you want to use one of them.
Nah.
Coordinate out of the way. Okay.
Nah, just rock my world.
I rolled a 1, but I'm going to spend a coin to turn it into a 6.
There you go.
So in a 6 plus 3 is 9, so 13 damage.
Okay.
As you're pelted with big rocks and sticks and clonk. Everything else I can scrape up and throw at you.
All right. So I am now, I believe I was lightning wounded before, so now I'm seriously wounded now.
Oh no. Roll
Or
2d6.
hurt. Okay. 2d6. I got 1d6 here. I rolled a 4 and a 2.
Nice. No injury. Okay. Well, the villager's turn is over. Who's next?
Keegan.
Keegan.
Sorry, Keegan.
You're back, and they're back, and they're kind of moving all around you and swarming into you with weapons and torches and pitchforks. And because their attentions are not drawn different directions, it would probably be impossible to blend into them at this point because you've been isolated from your comrades. Of course, you're back there on the cliffside with purple under your figure. What would you like to do?
Oh. Well, I guess at this point, really, the only thing I can do is actually fight. But Keegan is not the best fighter, so we're going to try some things. Let's go for attempting to, once again, knock some of them down. Maybe I can get one of them to stumble off the side of the cliff or something.
Probably smart. Go ahead and roll a standard test.
Okay. 52 is not going to do it on trying to push them over.
Okay. You do have 3 coins in your pool.
I do, but I feel like that's not a high probability of me being able to do that.
Yeah. So you shoulder into them and try to
So-
sweep them off their feet and just kind of fight and lash as you can, but can't seem to really take them off, all of them off their knees. What do you want to do next?
All right, so then I am going to attempt just
Force
use
their
my
fight.
weapon here, see if I can hit some of them.
Okay. What weapon are you armed with?
I should have said that at the beginning of my turn. He would have this walking cane.
Okay. I extended the same gesture to Calvin earlier, and I'll do the same for you. We'll assume you drew your walking cane at the beginning of this fight, so you have it at the ready. You dropped the stone, but you have the walking cane in hand.
Maybe I should have just used a stone. Anyway, let's go with the walking cane.
Okay.
Attempt
Go
to
standard.
beat a couple of them down. All right. And yes, so 46 will actually do it.
Nice.
So do you hit?
They did bank an action point, so they're going to attempt to defend. Their chance is only 45. I rolled a 51, so they don't defend. Roll damage.
All right. So that's a 3 plus, what does the walking cane use? I think it's combat bonus, right? 7.
Nice. They are currently hurt.
Okay. And then I have 1 AP left,
Yes.
and I'm going to bank that for defending.
All right. You hold on to the last action point. Last action point here, probably smart. Who's next?
Crow Master.
Crow Master. Okay. Well, looks like we've got some friends over here who need some spells cast at them. And I think what will probably happen, based on where they're at, my apologies, I was looking for the other spell he was going to use that I had marked. Oh, here it is.
I apologize.
All right. So, Calvin, from where you're at, you see the Crow Master. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He moves forward between the pinnacles of stone just outside of this ruined castle keep, and he raises his arms in the air, holding the lantern aloft. And you hear him incant, "Ancient forest elder trees, I beseech thee to stand aside." And then suddenly there you can see at your feet Hobbs. Well, Hobbs can't really see it, he's Hobbs. But Osbert, you can see these little vines beginning to bud and grow beneath your feet as he's attempting to cast Spirit of the Wood. His chance for this is only 55. And I rolled an 80, but I think I'm going to re-roll that. I have a coin right here. No. 40%. Okay. Suddenly, everyone in a burst template who cannot resist using coordination is entangled. So Hobbs, Osbert, and the villagers must resist using coordination. This test is challenging.
All right. 50% chance to succeed.
The villagers
40%?
failed.
Critical success.
Nice.
Yeah, Hobbs failed.
Oh, so Hobbs, Hobbs is caught and entangled. I'll explain what that is in just a moment.
Okay.
Osbert manages to bank an AP, but you can't really make a counterattack because you don't have a ranged weapon in hand. However, while entangled, you can't move. Entangled people cannot use any actions in combat except to resist entanglement. If you start your turn in the burst template, you must resist once again. So the entanglement is still there. We'll assume, though, because Osbert, you did manage to critically succeed your test, that you will be able to move through the entanglement unencumbered.
Okay.
Osbert. Remind me what a burst is. How large is it?
It's 6 in diameter, so it would be 3 out from the center of it.
All right.
6 diameter.
Nice.
Yeah, so 3 radius, 6 diameter.
Correcto.
I'm gonna throw some. We'll throw down here for just a moment.
Wait. 10. So 5 out.
What's up?
Did you say burst or explosion?
It's the burst.
Okay,
That's
so
6
yes,
yards.
I was right the first time. I thought you said explosion, and I was like, wait, no.
How
I'm
far
wrong.
is it? I'm sorry, every direction.
6.
6 yards.
3,
and-
3 every direction from the
3
center
every
square.
direction. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, it's worded weird. A circle with a diameter of 6 yards in all directions. So, yeah, it's 3 yards in all directions.
Okay, so I'm marking here on the battle map. I apologize to our listeners. We're using we're doing some figurines here, but you should certainly watch this. The villagers are caught in the entanglement. The Hobbs is caught in the entanglement and can't move. However, Osbert is completely free of the bonds of the weeds that have gathered it so just before the foot of this strange castle. And the Crow Master's turn is now over, which brings us to
Calvin.
It's still storming outside, Calvin. You can see the flashing of lightning behind the Crow Master and his dark swarm of crows encircling overhead, nestling up on each of the little kind of nooks and crannies of the rocks and kind of along the top of the crenellations of the gatehouse. What will you do?
All right. So Calvin will grab the broomstick, for better use terms, the staff, and will move himself up 16 yards into the air, putting himself
nice.
what he feels is well outside of throwing range.
Yes.
And then load his bow for 1 AP.
Yeah.
And shoot at the group that threw the rocks at him for 1
Okay. Is that a medium distance for you?
It is a medium distance.
Nice. Okay. Remember, because it doesn't really impact really what much of any of you are doing, but extreme and long distances are impossible in this type of experiment. So you're good.
Medium is 28 yards and 16 up and whatever they are over.
Yeah. So we'll assume you have higher ground. So I would normally got a routine test, but because you're at medium distance, we're going to shift it down to standard. So it's a standard attack for you.
All right.
Standard test.
47. And that's a 57. Close, but no cigar. We're still learning. It's okay.
Yeah. And on that note, please make an awareness test, like yours, which is routine for you.
Routine. All right. See, we're getting used to it. It's fine. It's 56, and I rolled a 06. So,
Nice. Critically
keep succeeding
failing
those. I've hit them.
At 16 yards up would be perilous.
Yeah. We're rolling them dice. We're gonna see how long it goes. Like I said, I got characters for days. All right.
So, anything else you wish to do, Cal?
I'm good.
Okay. So who we move to next? Osbert, what will you do?
So what is this entanglement event?
Good question. You are beginning your turn in entanglement, so you must resist entanglement right now.
Coordination?
Yes, it is a standard coordination. Or my apologies, you crit succeeded.
Yes, that's right.
So you don't need to resist anything. You can move through this freely if you wish.
All right. Sure. So what does it do to them?
They can't move.
Okay, because
They can't do anything except resist entanglement until they free themselves.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I will attempt a knockdown on them, hopefully giving Hobbs a better chance at some whopping.
Yeah, we'll assume that you can do so. It's a challenging test.
Okay.
As you can have shoulder into them.
That'll be a 50% chance to succeed. Flip to succeed, which is a 6%, which turns into a critical success.
Nice. So they can't resist. I believe on a crit success for knockdown.
Takes an additional AP to get up, I believe.
They can't resist. It must spend 3 AP to get out. So not only are they entangled and fighting the entanglement, they kind of collapse, pulled to the ground tighter and tighter by the vines, and Osbert is doing what he can to kind of further the shame that's associated with being pulled to the ground by sorcery.
And I will follow up with a hammer fist. Give him a clonk on the head noggin.
Okay. That's going to be a routine test.
Okay. Simple melee, I take it?
Yeah.
7. Routine. 47. Not so good with that. That is not a success. I've got 1 AP left. I'll continue. I'll take cover again, I guess. My last AP.
Okay. You turn back toward the Crowmaster and hunker down for, I think, is it take cover 2 AP or is it 1?
Is it 2? It's a movement. Take cover is 1.
Okay. Yeah. So you kind of get down, you drop low. Who's next?
After Osbert is Collinsworth.
Collinsworth.
Collins needs to resist, right?
Hobbs needs to resist. Yes. It's a routine test, routine coordination to escape.
Okay, this one will be 60%. And a 29 will succeed.
No, Hobbs. What do you want to do, Hobbs? Keep in mind, you've only escaped for this turn. So if you start your next turn in the entanglement, you will have to resist again.
Right. Hobbs is pretty one-track minded. So he's going to try and do the same thing that he did before. He's pretty much trying to maul this thing. So he's going to swipe out at it. Wait. Is it already on the ground? Did Nick succeed?
Oh, yeah.
It's knocked prone. Yeah.
Okay. Actually, he would do something different in this case. If it's on the ground, then he would go for the neck or probably a target attack towards the head.
Love it. Okay, it's going to be easy.
Okay. Easy will be 85%. And a 70 will succeed.
Nice. Roll damage.
Okay. So 1 normal, 2 for on the ground.
Yep.
Okay. And I got an explosion.
Nice.
And so that is 18 total.
Poor villagers. Tell us what happens whenever Hobbs proceeds to tear into this group of 3 walking cadavers.
Well, he tears into the neck and like immediately like spits it out as it tastes rotten. He didn't quite realize what was happening, and then proceeds to crush the other one's skulls in.
Yeah. And we'll assume kind of like the entanglement basically throttles what little life remains within them as their corpses are pulled and broken and snapped beneath all of the weeds, grass, and roots that kind of break their bones and literally pull their bodies into the earth itself, swallowing them whole. A few crows manage to take off in the sky, kind of flying away. And that's when you can see, as Osborne, as you turn toward the Crow Master, his burning blue eyes kind of widen for a moment.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Hobbs. Go ahead.
What will Hobbs do next?
Hobbs is oblivious to that as he was too busy.
Uh-huh.
And then he's going to go after the one that was attacking his favorite person, Calvin. So he is going to move
Uh-huh.
up
Awesome.
there. Well, his movement is 7, so
You got enough.
okay.
Just on the nose. So
Um,
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, right on the nose. Just enough for Hobbs to get up there. Hobbs lumbers forward.
Right on the.
and then he's going to
Yeah, right here.
yeah, he's going to roar at them as he has made them his chosen,
Nice.
and then he will bank an AP.
Okay. Fair enough. Okay. Sounds good. So who's next?
Villagers.
The villagers. Nice. Okay. Well, the villagers that are near Hobbs are going to do what they can to fend Hobbs off, and I think they're going to just kind of beat and bash him about with a targeted attack toward his appendages, his legs, whatever they can swipe out toward to try to debilitate Hobbs with a targeted attack.
Oh, not my bear claw.
55% chance. Now roll a 28. We strike. Will Hobbs attempt to defend?
He will attempt to.
Okay. It's going to be a standard simple melee.
Standard will be 65%. And an O2 will succeed.
Nice. He withdraws a wounded paw, but does not enough to depaw him as their target attack fails, and they will bank the other action points. Over by Keegan, however, as they are currently hurt, they are going to do a target attack toward Keegan to get rid of that damn walking stick with a target attack toward Keegan's arms to disarm. It's a 55% chance. Roll 21. Keegan, do you want to defend?
I did bank one, so I suppose it makes sense.
Yeah. Do you have any action points banked, or you want to use a coin?
I had one.
Oh, nice.
Yep.
Okay. So it's a standard test to defend against the murderous villagers.
3 will do it.
Nice. Okay. You managed to fend off the attack, and then their turn is over. Whose turn's up next?
Keegan.
Keegan, you're up to bat. On this
Okay.
narrow causeway up to the castle, still separated from your friends, still storming outside. What will you do?
Yeah, there's not really much else I can do at this point, so I guess I will. You said I can't charge. Even with this more open area, I still couldn't.
You cannot. No, it is too precarious on either side of the switchback to do so. There's too much rubble. It's too wet. It would spell your doom.
DOOM.
You want to try to push through them?
What I was hoping is to charge through them, yeah. But if I can't do that,
Well, you could still try to move through. Still try to maneuver through them. We could say.
oh, yeah. But I want to actually try to take them down with me when I do it.
Yeah. You know what? If you want to spend all 3 action points, I'll let you try it.
Why not? Let's go for it.
That's all right. Okay. I'm going to have you make a routine athletics test to do so.
Oh boy, that's my strength. No, it's not. Okay, let's go.
Muscle mate. I'm just kidding. We need Calvin for that one.
All right, so that's a 34. 81 will not do it.
Oh.
How many coins do we have right now?
4.
Can't use them. That's self-interest.
Yeah.
So I tried. Nope.
Okay.
I don't know where that puts me. I don't know if I stay in the same spot. If
Yeah,
they get
you
an attack,
kind of
I don't know.
Yeah, you're kind of, unfortunately, you're kind of at a disadvantage. And you're still kind of where you're at. So who's up next?
Next is the Crow Master.
Okay. Well, the Crow Master witnesses the other batch of villagers kind of get mauled to death by Hobbs, and the Crow Master over by the keep, he slams his staff into the ground, and with that, the lantern winks out. And as the lantern winks out, it's almost like all light that was here kind of like falls to darkness for a moment, and then you all feel this beating of wings and being batted against the face with all these feathers as these crows burst forth from the husks of these villagers, taking to the skies, just breaking apart completely before your very eyes.
Oh dear.
And they literally break apart into batches of crows, and as you kind of gain your senses again, you realize that the Crow Master and his servants, the villagers, are all gone. You can only see wings and and flocks of crows taken to the sky as the husks of these bodies collapse before you. And as this happens, you all need to resist resolve versus fear. It's challenging.
%.
No,
Did not succeed.
59. 20
Well,
success.
99.
Oh no!
Keegan's not doing so good today.
Yeah. So who failed? Raise your hand. Oh no.
Technically.
And then you critically failed upon Keegan.
Yeah.
So as you can imagine, it's a pretty frightening,
Spooky, scary.
very.
Spooky, scary skeleton.
And as this happens, those who failed will suffer 6 corruption and 8 peril. Those who critically failed suffer 10 peril, and immediately, as you crit fail this withstand horror check, you immediately suffer from despair, Keegan. Like you're filled with this intense desire to do one of 4 things. You can either fawn, fight, take flight, or freeze up. What happens narratively? What do you think Keegan's going through Keegan's mind? What do you think? What does everyone else see from Keegan at this point? So it's fawn, fight, flight, or freeze.
What is
Okay, I just read the descriptions. All right, I'm going to read this out loud real quick and we can tell which one's going to freaking happen. Fawn. Those who have this response will do all they can to please those around them, often foregoing their own needs for others. They will be overly helpful, deferring to others when it comes to making decisions. So apparently I've just been fawning the entire time on this character. So why would I change that? The effect is add 2 assist die to allies to help until you dispatch or escape from the source of horror. However, you suffer 2d10 plus peril and gain 3 conflict every time you take advantage of this benefit. Guess who's getting peril? Let's go.
So that's all the mechanics, but what narratively is happening? What are we seeing?
So at this point, like, so they all kind of just fell apart in front of us, right? Like they're just
Yeah.
Yeah, so Keegan sees them all fall apart and he looks around for a second. He's got his cane in his hand. He looks confused. He's got like probably, his hands bloodied and stuff from like ripping at the ones with the rock. And he looks at everybody and he runs over to them and he just looks like a kid. And he's like, did I do okay? I'm back. Hi. And just looks completely lost, but like almost comforted that he's finally close to everyone again. So he kind of almost somewhat hides, although this 6'2" broad brawny guy like hiding behind any of them is probably at least somewhat comical. Maybe the bear.
Love it.
I can see Keegan trying to like groom people, like trying to get all the dust and stuff.
Actually, no, that is probably what he's also doing is kind of checking people. Like he grabs them by the face and checks them and sees if they look okay or if they're hurt.
Yeah, that's great.
But he wouldn't actually touch because that's taking liberties.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
it's
good.
that equivalency.
That's good.
Yeah. Calvin will come down to the ground.
Okay. So the storm's let up just a little bit, fortunately.
Well, that's good. I mean, he'll still keep concentrating on the spell because it lasts for hours, just in case he needs to make a speedy escape. Because who knows what's going on in this crazy place? But
imagine that.
Yeah. Well, that was crazy. Hopefully, Credence isn't here.
Let's get out of this storm.
Yes.
So into the mouth of madness?
Any port in a storm?
As I point towards the gate.
Sure. I mean, I always know I can get out. Trying to liven up the situation, guys. Yeah.
Feel better. So you kind of begin to leave the scene of horror, Keegan, as you can feel your heart, like, clearly beating hard in your chest. And you approach the gatehouse where you saw the Crow Master emerge from. You've lost sight of all of the crows at this point. They're gone. Mm-hmm. But remnants of the corpses, the husks that they had literally wheedled their way into and animated, like these hundreds of crows, animated that the husks of the dead. They leave those husks in their wake as you come toward the gate, and you can see that the gate is just slightly up. It's not fully open for anyone to easily crawl beneath. It looks like the Crow Master probably flew through the areas between the gates and formed into that shadow of a dark sorcerer. And Calvin, you feel that the spells that you saw today are none you've seen the likes of before.
Right. No, they were completely foreign to me. Yeah. Like I understood the language, but I didn't really understand anything else.
Right. So as you look toward the gatehouse, and you're of course soaking wet, you see that the gate is probably maybe half a foot to 3/4 of a foot off the ground between you and the stone. And it has these long kind of iron rusted spikes that would affix into these like stone ports in the ground. It looks very precarious to clamber underneath. And as you look up toward the stone gatehouses, they look like they're unassailable, at least on foot.
Okay, well, I'll see if I can find a way to raise the gate. All right, yeah, let's get to it. Try to get on the broom and get up on the wall.
Go do a great job.
Anyone have an idea where the mechanism would be? I don't really have warfare training. All right, so it's a hide and seek. We'll find it. All right, it's fine. Yeah. I guess I'll just start from the top since I'm already up there.
Okay.
And work my way down.
So Calvin throws one leg over his broom and ascends up about 15, 20 feet. And you kind of land, you come down on your feet with your broom beside you. Imagine kind of like how Snape moves in Harry Potter, right? When they disembark, they actually disembark before the broom lands. So you kind of sail down to your feet and kind of start walking naturally as part of it, walking with the broom. And you can see that there is on top of this gatehouse, there's a wooden porthole that appears to be open. And on top of this gatehouse, some terrible battle has happened. You can see the desiccated husks of or bones of people who have died wearing loose, weathered ringmail with their spears shattered and their shields broken, all atop this gatehouse. And you can see kind of along the inside the crenellations, like the kind of rising stone merlins where you'd hide behind if you're being attacking with the bow from above. You can see these purple handprints all over the stone crenellations, like the same markings you'd seen before for the people who are here.
Perhaps the folks do reside within these walls. Hopefully they'll be more helpful than the villagers, Calvin thinks to himself as he continues to explore the battlements and the gatehouse.
So Calvin descends inside, but outside the storm continues. Osbert, Keegan, Collinsworth, and Hobbs at your side. Dane, the Scald, and Annika, the Pict, are there, as is Abigail. What are we going to do? Abigail says. She looks toward the gatehouse.
We're gonna fucking wait. His rainwater drips down Osbert's nose. His shoulders hunched. He looks miserable. I don't suppose you could squeeze underneath. Laughs mirthlessly.
I could easily squeeze beneath, I suppose, but I would not be going in by myself, Dane the Scald says. His wife, Annika, looks toward the skies looking for Kite, the eagle, but no sign whatsoever. Birds tend to roost when it rains. She looks worried. She turns toward where the husks of the villagers were and watching nervously for any crows that may be roosting nearby. What is Keegan and Collinsworth doing at this point?
Collinsworth is, kind of reeling, like maybe he got socked in the head by one of them rocks a little too hard, and he's just kind of waiting to see what Calvin will do, because Calvin does have the ability to fly. So Collinsworth is just kind of looking up to see if there's any windows, anything like that.
Yeah, you turn toward this very cold stone building, and this place has probably been here for some time. And your eyes search for any sort of indication that there'd be a window to look out, but you can only see these narrow arrow slits, which seem to indicate that the only way in is probably on the other side. There'd be no crawling inside an arrow slit. They're far too narrow, obviously, but your eyes search the building and both stone towers that kind of rest against one another, almost as they're threatening to crumble off the side of the mountain. And that's when you kind of get a really good feel for like how high up this place is in the hills. Your eyes wander along the towers, Collinsworth, and along the mountainside and down into the village that is kind of shrouded in the mist from the rain. Midday, it's kind of gray and overcast, especially here the clouds hang particularly low. But you see no means of ingress, but this whole situation has you clearly a bit nervous. I think didn't you suffer? Aren't you suffering from fear? I think, is that right?
Yeah.
That's what I thought. Okay. Yeah. So and that's kind of what you see. What about Keegan? What's happening with Keegan right now?
All right, my headset keeps dying. Keegan is honestly just looking at everyone else to figure out what to do, because the last time he got left alone, he was stuck with a bunch of undead things that were trying to kill him. So he's not even bothering to like look around and try to figure out like anything, any plans or anything. He's kind of waiting raftly, almost like a dog, for someone to give him a command. Someone to tell him what to do.
It's sad. I mean, that's kind of the fate for Keegan too, especially with your affliction.
He just finds that every time he goes on his own or tries to do something on his own, things fuck up. So he's like, you know what? Nope, somebody else tell me what to do, because I fail at this.
Yeah. I seem to recall too that you're not the only one in the party who has an affliction.
Yes, Osbert has foolish endeavor. Whenever you rush into a situation without proper planning, you gain 10% to succeed a skill test during that situation. However, for every failed skill test, you suffer stress.
Thanks. So, Calvin, the storm inside kind of is drowned out as you head down into the porthole. And the inside is a bit dark. Do you have a source of light?
Let me ruffle through my bag and see. I believe I had a number of torches, at least. That was way back when we're with Sorsha. Let's see. Do I have any more torches? I do. I have 2.
Nice. So you strike a torch and it sputters for a mere moment, and it chases away the shadows like rats exposed to light. The shadows scamper away seemingly from your torch as you're standing in this gatehouse, and you kind of your eyes scan around, and it's really dry and musty. It's really musty in here. You can see kind of like within the torchlight, you can see some of the particles of dust lingering in the air, and you could just barely make out these very narrow arrow slits. And the only reason you know that they're there, they run vertically floor to ceiling. The only reason you know they're there is because when the storm flashes outside, you can see just these kind of like thin lines of light, and they seem to almost look like broken upside down crosses, like both flashing yellow. These thin upside down crosses that the arrow slits, kind of painting a bit of a dire portrait of the interior of this room. Using the torch, you search around in earnest for the mechanism, and you discover it. It's this big winch, and as you look toward this wooden winch, you realize that it's a series of chains and pulleys that actually kind of extend up and over your head among the rafters of this kind of upper floor. However, the chains are actually broken. You can see a huge mallet, like a wooden mallet with a spade on one side, and it looks like the chains have been sundered purposefully. You can see the link still wrapped around the winch, but the chains overhead kind of like rattle slightly and kind of clink together, clink, 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 as they're among the dark rafters of this tower.
So no way to open it. Well, maybe someone has some rope and we can scale the walls. As I'll go over to one of the arrow slits and shout out, "Can you guys hear me?"
Outside, yes. Over the storm, you can hear Calvin yelling through arrow slit.
Yes.
I think I found the mechanism, and I think it's broken.
Dane looks down toward the narrow portcullis where it's threateningly close to the ground.
The only other idea I had was, does anyone have any rope? Maybe I can tie something off and you can scale the walls.
Dane kind of looks toward his wife, and Annika shakes her head. Abigail says, "We need not have any rope with us. We did not take the horses."
I yell out back at him, "You and your fucking rope."
Well, I'm not going to carry it, but it's super useful. You know how much encumbrance that would put on this broom? The structural integrity would collapse like your bridges.
So many locks in that bridge.
So many locks.
Thousands. So outside Osbert, you and Collinsworth and Dane and Annika and Abigail and Keegan. Keegan seems to just be waiting as if looking for someone to tell him what to do. Wide-eyed like a puppy, looking to do whatever he can to serve any of you to get out of this situation. Just to get out of this damn situation. Dane and Annika appear confused, not sure what to do. Collinsworth, Osbert, looks like it's up to the two of you.
Osbert scratches his head for a second. We came to find clues that those two came through here, Credence and Otrig.
Mm-hmm.
Have a look, see, and report back what you find. We'll wait here.
Wait, you want me to go further in by myself?
I turn to Dane. There's your companion. Dane will join you.
I'm not going to go in there by myself. That is madness. The Crowmaster is not gone.
Calvin's in there to accompany you.
And how well did we fare earlier? What if Calvin was not there?
All right, I guess it's up to you, Calvin.
Great.
I look down at the portcullis and see like how much room there is.
A person could shimmy through with some effort. A person.
Can you come down?
Sure. I want to. I want to see if I can. You said there was a maul with a spade on it.
Yeah.
I'm thinking that maybe I can use this to help. I don't know, Jimmy rig it to where maybe we can get a few more inches to make it a little bit easier
Sure.
for people to get underneath. So
Grab a big wooden mallet and you kind of head outside, and you're back outside wet again.
hey,
You join the others and you've got the wooden mallet.
I mean, this is what I found in there. It was used to sunder the chains and drop from all that I could tell.
Now, did I hear right when you said the wooden mallet has a spade on it?
Yeah, it's like it's a wooden mallet. It's like used to drive spikes, and the other side is sharpened to shatter wood or
Okay.
whatever else was used. It looks like a very rudimentary, very, very old tool. Like you can see that you suspect that it's probably bronze. Like there's a bronze sheath on the back side of the mallet that would be the striking surface that really wraps around the back of the mallet. It's a very, very old implement. Not a weapon. It is a tool.
Mhm.
But clearly it's been used to break the chains or break the weakest link in the chain. You can imagine this thing would strike through any sort of metal unless the chain was already weak.
Now, what if we were to use that spade to just, if this is the entire doorway, we were just to focus on one area, much like a dog with a gate or a fence.
I'm gonna guess it's too big to fit through.
Here's what I think.
No, I'm saying dig the ground around it.
Oh,
Oh.
sorry. Let me be clear. The ground underneath of it is literally a stone lip.
Yeah.
With portholes where the
Yeah.
the
Okay.
gates tines would drop into the earth. So, yeah.
Right. No,
And
that. Yeah.
skewer anyone beneath of it.
Here's what I
Well-
think. We push the handle of the maul down into one of these holes, and then we all together try to pick up the portcullis, and then if we can wedge this tool underneath there, maybe it'll hold long enough for us to squeeze through.
Yeah, I can try lifting from my side as well.
Does that make sense to everyone? We're gonna have to all work together to do this.
So we're going to trust our lives to one shaft of a mallet.
Well, we'll wait a moment to see how well it holds.
I mean, I got no better ideas.
I guess Abigail or someone can wedge it underneath once we get it high enough up.
I can hold the mallet and put it where you want it. But I don't think I've got the muscles to lift this gate up.
Okay.
Not like the lot of ye,
Well,
Abigail says.
we'll heave together, and then once it gets high enough, just wedge it in there, and we'll see what we can do.
All right.
You all kind of get underneath the gate. And then with the 1, 2, 3, you heave. And this thing is really heavy. Everyone needs to make a fail forward hard athletics test as you feel your bones and muscles bracing with the weight.
Got a 30
24.
and a 15 success.
Oh, success. 16.
Nice.
Okay. Hard athletics.
Uh-huh.
Okay. 40.
Some help.
07. Success.
Nice.
I have a
Did you-
14 and I got a 13. I don't know how that happened.
Nice.
So I actually succeeded by 1.
Nice. So if you can imagine picking up if you're trying to pick up a pool table on your own, like where the weight is like, no matter, you've got all your hand underneath of it, but it doesn't seem to be enough to like hold it steady. It's kind of like you're literally shaking, holding it up, and you all manage to lift it up, and you can see that one of the tines of the portcullis raises out, and that goes into the hole, and then Abigail drops it in the hole, and she says, "Oh shit!" And as you drop the portcullis on the mallet, the spine literally rips it in half down the shaft. As the however many hundreds of pounds, probably a ton plus of metal, just literally splits the mallet in half. It's not enough to hold the gate up, but you do feel confident enough that somebody could slip underneath if you had a few people holding it up, if you moved quickly.
Okay. As Osborne is like running, holding it one at a time.
I have one other idea. Wasn't there a sally port on the other castle? Maybe we could try to look for one of those.
No.
Nope,
Just
trying this.
go.
All right. We'll try it.
Abigail, you first.
Abigail, Dane, and Annika slip underneath. Calvin is next. Who will follow after Calvin?
I mean, I'm already on the outside.
That's right. I'm sorry. Who's going to go?
Keegan, go.
Yes. Keegan dives under immediately.
As Keegan relinquishes his hold on the portcullis, the three of you now need to make a hard athletics test. Fail forward.
Athletics. All right.
Or
40,
Are you guys gonna guillotine
3%.
Keegan?
Ooh.
'Cause it seems like you might.
85 failure.
22 critical success.
Oh,
Nice.
Brother's showing off.
So Keegan slips through unharmed, unhurt by the portcullis, and you feel it still shaking in hand. And as Calvin loses his grasp, his brother shoulders up next to him and heave, and you kind of give it all you got to lift it up. So who's going to go next?
Keegan, grab hold again.
Mm.
Collinsworth,
And
you're next.
is this a pull, or can I get an assist on this? I'm trying to get this conflict.
You can absolutely assist.
I would like to assist because that's also 3 dice that I get for assist.
Nice.
All right.
Nice.
Like being like a spotter. Like I got your back. Like
Yeah.
Mhm.
yeah.
Okay, so
Like,
who's, who's going under next?
Collinsworth.
Collinsworth.
All right.
Okay.
All right,
Collinsworth.
I'm moving
Collinsworth.
underneath.
Everybody needs to make a hard test. In Keegan, you immediately gain 3 corruption.
Oh man.
And I assist.
That's right. Like crazy.
Whom are you assisting? Me, I'm
Um,
guessing I'm the only one on this side.
Sure.
Plus Dane and all them are.
Yeah.
Okay, so I have a 4, a 7, and a 2 for you to use.
I'll take the 2. Yeah,
Okay.
I'll take the 2.
Anybody
Thought you
fail?
I failed.
Okay. You feel tension as you suffer 18 peril.
Ooh.
As it's straining your muscles and arms as a 3d10 plus 3 peril.
I have you always succeed skill tests to resist the effects of physical peril for weather-worn midlanders.
This is not
apply?
weather.
Okay.
No.
It's
It's not
You
weather.
tried.
Well, it doesn't have
You
to, it doesn't
tried.
say anything to do with weather. It
So
just says you-
once again,
Okay.
spirit of the rules versus rules as written.
All right.
Weather worn, let's be clear. It's physical peril for weather. So yes, you suffer the peril. If you drop to incapacitated on this, anyone drops incapacitated, the porculus drops on the next person.
Ooh.
So
Thank you.
who's next?
I'm the last one.
Okay. All right. Everybody make a, do you want to assist again, Keegan?
Hell yeah, I'm assisting. I make sure
3
we don't
more-
critically
3 more.
fail.
3 more corruption.
Do this. Actually, I also need you to roll 2d10 plus 2 peril.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, you're mentally stressing you out now.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead and roll your own if you want to.
Okay.
Everybody else make a hard.
Okay, I rolled 7, a 3, and a 4, so that's 7 plus 2, so 9 peril is what I took. For my assist dice, that's a 2, a 4, and a 6.
Take 2.
I got a 22 critical success.
Nice. Anybody fail on that?
Yes, I did. I'd like to use a coin to re-roll it.
Calvin crit succeeded, so he can actually offset your failure.
Oh, okay.
So in the same
got
way
my
that you
back, brother,
offset
I got
Calvin's
yours.
failure, you helped. Yeah. So he returns the favor. And you hold up. Did you roll your test already?
Oh, I roll even though I'm going under.
Oh no, you don't. My apologies.
Okay.
You went under. You don't roll anything. Okay.
Yeah.
So right as Osbert slips beneath, you all drop the gate, and you hear this shunt. It makes this sound, and the whole gate like rattles inside of the stone that it rests with. The whole gate kind of shatters like the sound of metal rattling against stone violently for a moment, and bits of rock and mortar that was loose already on these stone towers crumbles and falls to the ground, wet, nasty. And you all are now inside the gatehouse. I think we'll probably stop here. It's a good stopping point.
All right.
So you managed to beat back the Crowmaster and the villagers. You didn't succeed the chase scene, unfortunately. You're literally on the second round and didn't get it, but nonetheless, you survived, and you're now at least inside the gatehouse for what it's worth. So we played for about 3 hours. So let's do 75 reward points, and let's resolve some corruption.
Corruption. No, conflict. Right.
Captain Corruption.
Conflict.
Conflict. Yeah. So the roll for tonight is 8. I seem to recall somebody's pretty close to getting a destiny point, if I'm not mistaken. Is that right?
I'm a couple away
Yeah. That's what I
to
thought.
finally having one again.
Yeah. So let's talk about tonight. What's going on in Osbert's mind?
So, with all this villagers and such, like all these terrifying creatures and crowmasters and all this stuff, of course, he, along with everyone else, succumbed to terror. So, or was it terror or horror?
Fear. Yeah.
So he's kind of leaning into his deviant flaw rank, and even though maybe Calvin's suggestion to go around the other side was probably better, he kind of insisted because he wanted to just feel the pain and just to kind of revel in it for a while.
He does have that interesting new affliction too, where he just like, if he's unprepared, he feels better unprepared sometimes too. Even though you'll gain bonuses to your skill test, but you suffer peril you suffer corruption as a result of failure. So you can always lean into that for your benefit. And that's interesting too, because oftentimes I think that anytime we play, we get stuck between we get analysis paralysis between what to do, and Nick tends to be the one to we're gonna do this. Planning be damned. So that actually works to your benefit. So go ahead and give yourself 50 reward points.
Cool.
Calvin, let's go with you next.
Yeah. So tonight was a bunch of new experiences for Calvin. He's trying out new things like flying in combat. Yeah, he hasn't tried that yet. So he feels pretty confident in his ability to stay on it. I don't have the greatest awareness, but I have a very high peril threshold. So even if I do fail and I take the peril, I feel like it's okay. As long as I hold on tight, I can be fine. So it's, I was just I'm going to try shooting this thing. I can't throw a rock if I'm in the middle of the air because, can't pick it up. But so it's going to be interesting to see if I can actually get this to kind of work. I enjoyed the editing the situation to get a bottle bomb.
Yeah.
Because I was I could just carpet bomb those guys and bottle bombs, make it rain like my lords do.
That's right. With fire. Make it rain like me anarchists do.
Yeah. So maybe I should look into getting a trade craft skill that way I can start making bottle bombs and grenades and glass bombs. And...
Well, it's alchemy actually.
Is it now?
Yeah. And in fact,
in Flames of Freedom.
If you look in the back of Flames of Freedom, you'll see alchemical arts. There's a ton of things that you should look into creating, because I think that the item creation stuff in Flames is pretty cool. 50 reward points. One thing that this is just a personal complaint I have about some magic systems is there's no real penalties for flight. So that's why there's this peril. When you do something that's potentially could imbalance you, you make that awareness test.
Yeah.
And you don't fall unless you crit fail it.
Right.
So it's there's always that kind of degree of risk. But
it's like riding a bike. It'll be fine.
Yeah. Let's move next to Keegan.
So I think Keegan is just at the point where he has so little confidence in his ability to think or do anything that he just feels completely lost when he doesn't have somebody from the group telling him what to do.
Yeah.
Which is a sad state of affairs, but that's what he is. So, when he got separated from everybody, he tried his best, but he fell on that whole, I have to be part of the crowd, which is why he probably was able to meld into zombies and have them not realize that he was there.
That was a fun outcome.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think that's what it is. He can't do things solo. It doesn't make sense to him anymore. And he to be honest, he's just a hive mind right now. Especially he may, outside of these kinds of places when he's not in a despair point, he may have the ability to kind of think on his own. But right now he's just, he's like I said, he's a dog. He's trained to do what you tell him to do.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's in perilous situations, that's clearly what he's going to rely on. And I think that especially when you think about whenever the chips are down, and by chips are down, I mean in the sense that maybe your peril's lower, or maybe you're skewing more higher on the corruption side, you could think about kind of leaning into not your belief, but your flaw. So I think it's important that you as a player and as the character still feel some sense of control, but obviously this is a perilous situation. So 50 reward points. And then finally we move to Collinsworth.
Collinsworth, I mean, was for the most part pretty simple. You know, he was trying to do what he could to help make sure everybody was keeping up.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, it got into pretty big trouble. So Hobbs took over. Hobbs is confused and bewildered as to what exactly happened, why those people tasted so bad.
Yeah.
Like he's not, you know, he doesn't want to just like eat people, but you know, they don't taste terrible when he does, right? But yeah, no, that was bad. So he may reconsider eating people in the future.
How are 54 word points? How are you feeling about the kind of transposition of character to controlled creature? Like, do you think it's a pretty seamless experience?
Well, I mean, the greatest thing about any sort of like system that you would come up with is, you know, whether or not it's consistent, and definitely is. Like, it's just like, okay, if I want to switch, use an AP and it's done.
Yeah.
You know, because like a lot of other games I've played where you do have a pet, they either one don't have quite an effect on battle, and they like, you know, give a little buff here or there, or two, you're controlling two things. So this is the first time that I've really played a game like this, and you know, it's just like with powered by Zweihander, the more numbers you have, the more likely it is that one person is definitely going to be taken out. So if you've got a group of 10 people, and so that means that you're going to have around 10 combatants on the other side. Someone's, you know, so this makes it easy for the GM to go, okay, I want this to be a harder encounter, so I'm going to, you know, have a few more than the player, or I want it to be a more even encounter and have the same number as the players, or I'm going to, you know, want it to be an easier or a boss type, you know, like that. I think for this system is the biggest benefit to making it to where you remove your character and you play as your pet.
Yeah, it's kind of like, I think there's kind of a Pokemon gotta catch them all appeal to the profession as well.
Yeah, I can't wait to see what happens with Charlotte when we return. And frankly, I kind of want to, you know, me as a player, I want to learn from, can't remember her name, but it's Dane's wife.
Annika.
Yeah. I want to learn from Annika, like how to get one of them eagles.
Yeah. One of them eagles. Yeah.
Because it'd be pretty cool to like be a were-eagle for a battle. You know, and so long as I keep track of all of the damage on both characters, because like it would be kind of silly if damage reset or even transferred over, you know, then I think we'll be good. So Collinsworth, it's funny, like Collinsworth is more defensive than Hobbs. Like he can take more damage, even though that's not always a thing in Zweihander. So if I'm trying to be defensive, it's actually best to be Collinsworth.
Yeah.
So
what were you gonna say, Mike?
I was gonna say, since I have handle animal, could I train like a group of geese to follow me around and fly in formation with me? Like the flying V, or ducks, maybe, you know.
Why not?
Yeah, okay. And then they can attack. I'll have attack geese.
Yeah. So I think we'll wrap here for the night. We'll resume next week there'll be session 25 next week. Wow. I didn't realize we'd play this long for up here, but it's been fun. It's been fun doing something very different. But thank you, watchers and listeners. We will see you next week, next time on Dragon Ball Z. Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.